Alright, everybody. Hello, welcome. This is Assetto Corsa, something a little different. I know one video doesn't exactly make it a lot of difference, but you know, it's alright, we're getting there. Um, we are on beautiful Michelin Raceway uh, with the BMW M3 E30 Group A. It's a nice 5-speed transmission right here. This is at Road Atlanta. You know, um, sorry, there's a holder right here somewhere. Um, as you may know, or not know, there is the 24 hours of LeMons going on in December. And, you know, we already got some people going, getting ready to go. So, yeah, sorry the hands are a little messed up here. Just kind of go like this. Put them down there. Hopefully it figures it back up. Alright, there we go. So yeah, I figured go for a few rips. Um, try and get some practice in. Sorry if the volume's a little loud, just beginning streamer and recording stuff. I have played this a few times already. A good couple laps with this car especially. Me and someone I know are going to actually be in the 24 hours LeMons come this December. Hopefully I won't, be driving this bad. Sorry if it gets a little bumpy for you guys. And yeah, I've been in this trial stage for about 25 minutes, as you can tell. I've had a little bit of recording issues, but that's alright. So I'll try and talk you through the course. With this car in particular, I haven't done any tuning. I'm not good at tuning at all. Trying to figure out this car, I just figured kind of get it how it is, because there will not be that much that will be different. The 24 hours of LeMons, if you don't know, is actually 2 8-hour days during the day, where you have around 100 teams, one racer at a time. Sorry about that. Going around the track, having some fun. The only requirement, or minimum requirement rather, is your car literally cannot cost more than 500 bucks. Like buying it straight up. You have an unlimited budget for safety, but any performance gear you will be making will count as penalties, which are usually given as laps or even timeout. Yes, and even in the adult world you get timeouts. Usually the first two are generally just something dumb. It's a very light-hearted race. I believe a good amount of the money goes to charity. And, a lot of people have fun. If you look at a couple of different YouTube videos, there is going to be a lot of just very special cars out there. And mainly just an excuse for adults to have fun, And as long as you have legal age, I guess you can join as well. I'm not sure exactly what the age requirement is. I would imagine in America probably either 18 or 21. With it being such an event, probably more, probably 21, just because, how dangerous racing is, especially for, 100 potentially not very experienced people. So, that's just going to be great. Um, they're very safety cautious. You know, it's it's just a good time to have fun. So, try and talk about this track a little bit. And, you can look at my bad driving skills until I start getting the hang of this. First time doing this track while talking, so if I go quiet for a while, it's either because I'm focusing or, I'm getting ready to crash. My record so far is about 141 without penalties. So like if I ever go off the track too much or, crash, which generally has me going off the track, that would be flagged as red. And, the lap will not count, just as you can see right there at the 29-30 second timer. This track is also used for Formula Drift sometimes. But as you can tell, there are a few different paths. There was one behind me not too far ago. I'll try and point out them as I come across. I believe that area right there is the paddocks for, I think this is the actual Formula Drift area. Yeah, in there where you see that white tent and a couple of the trucks, that's sometimes like a drifting type scene scenario, all that fun drifty boy stuff. So on this next lap, I'll try and talk you through a little bit, what I seem to be as working. And obviously there's a skill level factor to it and just getting to know the car and the race lines. But overall, it is still a pretty cool track. And yes, I know I will probably end up bouncing off the limiter a few times. So this is a nice lovely chicane. This car barely handles it at full out. Generally, I try and downshift to third, then down to second here. Now get up to fourth as we get over the hill. As we're cresting down, right around here, I'll kind of let off. Downshift into third. You can take this, cut it in, stay out wide, and you will, assuming you don't spin out like I did in this car, you'd go into second, kind of come through here. Probably about right here is where it would be normal. And you'll just go up to fifth, try and go, as fast as you can. And just kind of hang out here. So there will be a red sign here. That's generally where I let off. Gray sign right there. Start braking. Go in the fourth, third, second. I know there's a better way to take that, but I've not figured that out yet. And, well, I have figured it out. It's just I don't have the skills. Fourth, coming down the hill right here. Try and cut in as sharp as you can. Because if you end up going too fast, that those left divots will certainly give you a problem. Fourth gear, cut it in. Try and stay close to this right side up here. So that way you can cut in on the left here. Slow down, because this is quite the blind little corner we got. The apex of the top of the hill kind of leaves you nice and blind. Swing out left, cut in sharp here, right, so that way you can stay on the track and get through that chicane. And usually I'll get in the second. the second gear here, and then fourth gear. I won't go past that because I'm going to be braking before I even hit fifth gear, which is right about here, down into third, and there you go. Cut it in, swing wide. Don't go full out. Just be nice on the brakes. Cut that corner a little bit. Forget the shift, happens to the best of us. And rinse and repeat. That's just kind of how the spot is. Fortunately, I did get a penalty on this track, so on this lap anyways. Yep, I've given you the speedo, the tack, pedal inputs. You can see my steering wheel inputs, so I figured I didn't need that as the... If you want to see me try and race some other tracks, please give me a comment. I don't think anyone's watching the stream yet, so it'll be alright. All my recordings, I'm always going to try and stream them as well, so that may be, if I ever get some decent viewers, I'll be trying to talk to them. If it's Assetto Corsa, I'll try and figure out how to get the chat overlay, so I'm not trying to peek out of the bottom here. And yeah, if you made it this far, go ahead and type stacks in the comment, just a random thing, just so I know you guys are at least enjoying this video, or maybe you're just watching it in the background or something. Or if you have any tips and tricks for this video, let me know as well, of course. More than willing to get some tips before the race in December. I think it is the 9th. I will have to fact check that, and I may tell you in the next video if that is true or not. But there is also a high probability that I will forget, so... And trust me, I have been able to get low 40s without screwing up. It's just all in a matter of a little bit of focus and honestly a little bit of good luck. Doing pretty good so far. I got the Delta Performers up there, so I got about probably 142. I'll try and brake a little bit later, try not to lock up brakes either, so. But it is very possible you could see a 142 from me. And yeah, I forgot to mute Discord pings as well, so. What'd I get? 141.4. Alright. Try and get back on the track here. brief intermission. Alright, and we are back. Alright, let's try this again. Try and get through this. I do actually have no hesi set up, and if you found me, you probably know Assetto Corsa has kind of like a traffic simulator in a way on the highway set in Japan. I cannot pronounce the city name, but it is in Japan. If you want to see me play a little bit of that, please let me know as well. I am more than happy to show you how bad my skills are at that. Assetto Corsa, BeamNG, you know, if you guys want to throw anything else out or gift me on Steam, a racing game you want to see on this channel, you can. I will be more than happy to give you a opinion, review, whatever you would like on that game. A little bit of a shout out too. I know probably the majority of you guys have not made it this far, so I'm not getting my hopes up too much, but you never know. If you have made it this far, again, thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated to know that my effort is not going to waste, and you know, you guys are actually enjoying this incredibly low content video. I know I don't really have an intro. If you guys would like to make an intro, go ahead and send it to me in Discord. I'm not hard to find. I'll be in the No Hesi server, Assetto Corsa, and OBS for the software. So as long as you look up Drubix, D-R-U-B-I-X, you know where to find me. Unfortunately, I'll probably not play Drift X. That is probably the one game that I will not play, only because I'm not good at drifting. And if you have seen the first video of my channel, a pretty low quality BeamNG video, you will tell that even on controller, I am not the best at drifting, especially in the Vivas SUV that they have there. Alright, this next lap I'm going to stay quiet as long as I don't crash, so let's see what kind of performance I can get out of this thing. Or, you know, I can just crash it and ruin the whole lap. Let's see how much we can make up even with that little error. Yeah, it looks about 147, so it should be alright. In case you guys are wondering, I have all assists off. I don't even have throttle blipping. Fortunately, I do have tire wear, fuel consumption, and mechanical damage off. Because, as you can tell, I'm not the best driver, so I don't want any you know, real life factors actually coming into play here. At least until I get a little bit more consistent. If there is demand, you know, I may get some real life recordings of the 24 hours of LeMons when I go up in Atlanta, then some down here in Florida. If you guys would like to see some of that content as well, let me know. if you made it this far, go ahead and comment Delta Timer, because you know that is pretty nice. And thank you very much for watching this far. And if you're one of the probably very few people actually listening on the stream, which I do not believe there is anyone, that's alright. Thank you very much. You know, your presence is always greatly appreciated. Ah. I had a good time going there. Cut that corner a little bit too short, but that's alright. Short shifted a little bit there as well. Yep, as you can tell, I'm not good at drifting. Car's a little bit underpowered for what I was trying to do as well. Red line at about 8100, 8200 on the nice little, dang, tachometer there. The interesting thing I found out was there is no speedometer in this vehicle. But when you're racing, you know, you just got to feel the car and hope you don't die. If you use the speedometer during racing, you know, you're focusing on way too much in the cockpit. Same thing to go with piloting, by the way. The only times when speed really matters where you're looking at the numbers is airplane related, or if there's like a speed limit for pit lane, which for Atlanta is a nice balmy 50 miles an hour in the pit lane, at least in Assetto Corsa's third-party map has it set at 50 miles an hour. And that is the only time where a speedometer is really kind of required, because otherwise, you know, if you feel you're going too fast, you don't want that dependency of numbers. The reason why I've chosen to not have traction control and ABS on for this race is because in the car that we'll be using for Atlanta, all electronics have been taken out. So there will be no ABS or traction control in that vehicle. So I figured it's better to learn it this way, even if that engine is going to perform nowhere near this, I'm sure. That was going to be a good time too. 140. In case you guys are wondering, probably not. But in case you are, I'm definitely a Logitech gamer. Got the headphones, mouse pad, keyboard, and the G920 setup with the 6-speed H shifter. Sorry, I got totally distracted there. But yeah, I've kind of just slowly gotten this equipment over the years, and you know, I kind of like the look. Got the full size. I'm sorry this racing video is going so downhill. Really hope the engine noises aren't too loud for you guys too, and you can actually hear me. Which honestly, knowing my look, they're probably way too loud. Little bit of lag spec here, so you know, it's alright. Frames are a little low. But it's alright, we made it. Nope, we did not make it. Alright. That's alright. I'll try and get one more decent lap in. We'll try and keep an eye on the delta, see if any spots do get improved. As long as I choose the right gear, that is, anyways. Or, you know, just I'll go downhill for this last one. That's alright. I'm sure we can make up some time in the chicane up here. Yeah. Hug right, stay left. Go right again, downshift into third here. Drift that back end a little bit, try and recover it. Fail miserably, of course, in style. Alright, so this is how this lap's gonna go. Kind of bounce it off the rev limiter a few times here. Instead of going to fourth, just to downshift to third again. These tires are slick. It is not liking this at all. First gear, let's go. Yeah, probably not much improvement it's going to happen this lap. It's a lot of gray and clears up there, so this is definitely not the lap, but you know, it's the last lap, so that's alright. Nice little lock up into the sand pit here. Try and get back on the road. You know, maybe we'll do a little drift at the end. Try and... Nope, that's not going to happen. Oh well. And, by drift, I meant slam into the wall. That's alright. Anyways, you guys, thank you very much for joining. If you liked, please like, of course, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.